I dreamed my wife was cheating. Then I found out it was real. My daughters called him Uncle James. Turns out he was more than that. Hey, throw away because this one feels like it belongs in a Lifetime movie. I'm Ethan, 38, professional musician. I've been married to Claire, 35, for 11 years. We've got 2 little girls, Lily 8 and Harper 5. I love them more than life itself. But here's the thing, being a touring musician means I'm gone a lot. Sometimes weeks, sometimes months. I've played in every major city, traveled the world, shook hands with fans in Tokyo one night and Berlin the next. And every time I told myself it was worth it because I was building a future for my family. At home, Claire always said she supported me. She'd smile, kiss me goodbye at the airport and tell me she'd hold things down while I was gone. She was the wonderful wife. Or so I thought. About 6 months ago I started having dreams. Not normal ones, eerily vivid. I'd come home from tour, step inside the house and there he was, another man in my living room. Playing with my girls. Decorating the Christmas tree with them. Sliding his hand down Claire's back while she leaned into him like she belonged there. I'd wake up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, staring at the ceiling of some hotel room 1,000 miles from home. I brushed it off as tour stress at first. But the dreams kept coming, always the same faceless man, always in my place. And here's where it gets crazy. Turns out it wasn't just a dream. The last leg of my tour ended in LA, and I came home a few days early to surprise Claire and the girls. I wanted that movie moment. You know, dad walking through the door, kids running into his arms. And yeah, the girls delivered. They screamed, they hugged me so hard I thought my ribs would crack. But Claire looked almost startled to see me. Not excited, not happy, just off. She hugged me quick, like checking a box, then said, "Wow, you're back early. I wasn't expecting you." No kiss, no lingering smile. Just flat. That first night I noticed things. The smell of a new perfume, way too fancy for her usual taste. A brand new lingerie tag in the bathroom trash. Restaurant receipts in her purse for places we'd never been together. When I asked about the receipts, she rolled her eyes and snapped, "Ethan, I go out with friends sometimes. Not everything is about you." That stung because I'd been on the road busting my ass to give her a life where she could go out. And she was treating me like I was some jealous idiot. But the worst part? That night when I finally fell asleep in my own bed, the dream came back. Same faceless man. Same house. Same way he slid his hand down her back like she belonged to him. Only this time when I woke up, the sheets beside me were cold. Claire was already out of bed. A week later we were setting up for Christmas. I'd finally gotten a solid stretch at home and was determined to make it count. The girls were buzzing with excitement, unpacking ornaments while Claire fussed around the kitchen. Lily, my oldest, held up a sparkly snowflake ornament and said, "Daddy, Uncle James helped us put this on the tree last year." I froze. "Uncle James?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. Harper piped up too, innocent as ever. "Yeah, he was really funny. He put me on his shoulders so I could put the star on top." I looked over at Claire. She stiffened, her hands gripping the counter. Then she turned around with this fake smile plastered on her face. "Oh, honey," she said in that bitchy tone she uses when she wants me to feel dumb, "that's just James from the gym. He's a family friend. Don't be paranoid." Family friend? Funny, I didn't remember ever meeting a James. And why the hell was he in my house, decorating my Christmas tree with my daughters? I didn't push it right then. I didn't want to scare the girls. But inside something cracked. The dreams weren't just dreams. They were warnings. And suddenly, the faceless man in my nightmares started to take shape. One night, a couple weeks after the Uncle James bombshell, I woke up around 1:30 a.m. The house was dark, except for the faint glow coming from the living room. I padded down the hallway and stopped just short of the doorway. There was Claire, curled up on the couch in her robe, phone in hand. She was smiling, really smiling, the kind of soft, playful grin I hadn't seen directed at me in a long time. Her thumbs were flying over the screen. I whispered, "Claire?" She jumped, clutching the phone to her chest. "Jesus, Ethan, you scared me. What are you doing up?" I asked. "Texting Jenna. Her friend from work. She's going through some stuff." I nodded, but my gut screamed. "Jenna? At 1:30 in the morning? With Claire grinning like a teenager?" "Can I see?" I asked. Her eyes narrowed. "Seriously? What, you don't trust me now?" "Claire?" She cut me off, voice sharp. "Ethan, you're never home, you're always off living the dream while I raise these kids alone, and now you want to play jealous husband? Grow up." I backed off. But later, while she showered, I picked up her phone. She had a password now, something she'd never bothered with before. That's when I knew. The man in my dreams wasn't just a ghost. He was real. And he was already living in the spaces I thought were mine. After that night with the phone, I couldn't shake it. Every smile she gave me felt fake. Every late-night girls' dinner had me pacing the floor. My dreams weren't just dreams anymore, they felt like previews of my own downfall. So I did what I never thought I'd do. I called a PI. My cousin Matt knew a guy who handled messy divorces, so I reached out. I gave him Claire's schedule, the gym she went to, her so-called business lunches. 2 weeks later, he handed me a folder. First page, Claire in her workout clothes, walking out of the gym with a tall, broad-shouldered guy. James. Arm around her waist. Her head on his shoulder. Second page, the two of them at a restaurant, her hand resting on his thigh under the table. Third page, a hotel entrance. Claire kissing him long and deep before they disappeared inside. I swear my stomach dropped through the floor. My hands shook so bad I nearly dropped the photos. The PI just sighed. Sorry, man. She's not subtle. Been going on at least 6 months, maybe longer. I drove home that night with the folder on the passenger seat. My daughter's car seats were in the back. My wife's betrayal sat beside me like a passenger. And the ghost from my dreams finally had a face. It was James. The man who'd put the star on my daughter's tree. The man who slid his hand down my wife's back in my nightmares. The man who was living my life while I was on tour. I waited until the girls were asleep. Claire came back from yoga, hair messy, cheeks flushed, smelling like cologne that sure as hell wasn't mine. She tossed her bag on the chair and walked past me like I wasn't even there. That was it. I couldn't hold it in any longer. I pulled the folder from under the couch cushion and slapped it down on the table. Who the hell is James? Her head snapped up. What? Don't play dumb. James. From the gym. From the tree. From the goddamn hotel. I shoved the photos toward her. Her face went pale for half a second before she caught herself and sneered. You hired a PI? God, Ethan, how pathetic can you get? Pathetic? I'm pathetic? You've been screwing some meathead behind my back for months. She crossed her arms, her voice dripping with venom. What did you expect? You're never here. You think flying around the world with your guitar makes you a husband? I've been raising these kids alone while you chase applause. I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. So your solution was to cheat on me? In our house? With our kids calling him Uncle James? She rolled her eyes. Oh, stop being dramatic. They like him. He's good with them. Honestly, he's been more of a father lately than you have. That line broke me. My knees nearly gave out. She didn't just betray me. She buried me. And the worst part? She looked smug doing it. After that confrontation, I didn't sleep for days. I'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling, while Claire snored next to me like she hadn't just detonated our marriage. Her words ran on a loop in my head. He's been more of a father than you have. You're never here. What did you expect? I started questioning everything. Was she right? Had I been so wrapped up in touring and chasing music that I left her vulnerable? Did I basically hand-deliver her into James's arms by being gone so much? I looked at myself in the mirror one morning and barely recognized the man staring back. Bloodshot eyes, hollow cheeks, a ghost. My music felt meaningless. Every chord I played was tainted by her voice in my head. My mom noticed something was off when I came by with the girls. She pulled me aside and asked, Ethan, are you okay? You look broken. I almost told her. Almost. But shame swallowed me whole. I didn't want to admit my wife had traded me for a gym rat while I was out earning for us. Meanwhile, Claire acted like nothing had happened. She still cooked dinner, still packed school lunches, still chatted about bills and groceries. But beneath it, she carried this smugness like she'd won. And me? I spiraled. I wasn't sure if I was angry, heartbroken, or just worthless. I finally cracked one night and told my sister Jenna. We were sitting on her porch, kids playing inside, when I just blurted it out. Claire's cheating on me. Jenna froze, then her face hardened. With who? Some guy named James. From the gym. She closed her eyes, muttered, God damn it, Ethan, like she'd known this train was coming. Then she grabbed my arm. You listen to me. This is not your fault. You've been breaking your back for that family. Don't you dare let her spin this on you. But that's exactly what Claire was doing. Word got around fast. Small town problems. Claire went into full victim mode with her friends. Ethan's never home, he abandoned me for his career, I just needed someone who was there. Next thing I knew, mutual friends were sending me passive-aggressive texts like, maybe you should have prioritized your wife more, man. It was like she'd written the script and everyone was reading their lines. Meanwhile, my mom and dad were livid. Mom cried, saying she'd always had a bad feeling about how cold Claire could be. The family lines were drawn, half in my corner, half manipulated by her lies. And I was stuck in the middle, humiliated. The woman who should have had my back was stabbing me with a smile, and the whole damn town was watching. Humiliation can only carry a man so far before it turns into rage. And let me tell you, I crossed that line hard. I kept thinking about the girls. About James putting the star on our Christmas tree, about him sitting in my chair while I was halfway across the world playing shows. And Claire, smug as hell, letting him step into my life like it was some open audition. I couldn't let it go. So I dug. And it didn't take long to find the crack. James was married. Her name was Danielle. 2 kids of her own. Facebook page full of happy family photos. Smiling vacations, soccer games, barbecues. The perfect cover just like Claire had with me. That night, I typed out an anonymous email. Attached the PI's photos. Sent it straight to Danielle. Within 24 hours, the whole house of cards started to collapse. I heard from Jenna, because small towns talk fast, that James's wife threw him out, filed papers, and blasted the truth all over social media. Claire stormed into the kitchen that night, eyes blazing. "What the hell did you do?" I played dumb. "What are you talking about?" She slammed her hands on the table. "Don't you dare act innocent. James's life is ruined. His wife knows everything. That was you, wasn't it?" I looked her dead in the eye and said, "Funny. Sounds like he finally got what he deserved." For the first time, her smug mask cracked. And God, it felt good. After Danielle blew up James's life, I realized I had leverage. Claire could spin her little victim story to her friends, but the people who really mattered, our families, deserved to see the truth. So I went nuclear. Christmas Eve, my parents hosted the usual big family dinner. Everyone was there, my mom and dad, my siblings, Claire's parents, even a couple cousins. The girls were running around in their holiday dresses, buzzing about Santa. I set up my laptop on the TV. Told everyone I had a special video I wanted to share. Claire gave me a weird look but didn't say anything. Then I hit play. The screen filled with the PI's photos. Claire holding hands with James at dinner. Claire kissing him outside the hotel. Claire with his arm around her waist leaving the gym. The room went dead silent. Fork stopped midair. My mom gasped. My dad muttered, "Son of a bitch." Claire jumped up, voice shrill. "Ethan, how dare you embarrass me like this in front of everyone? You're disgusting." I stood too. "No, Claire. You embarrassed me. For months. For years maybe. This is who you are. Not the devoted wife. Not the mother waiting at home. Just a liar who let another man into our lives." Her dad tried to step in, but even he looked ashamed. Claire stormed out, slamming the door so hard the ornaments rattled on the tree. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Everyone knew. No more pretending. No more masks. Just the truth. After that Christmas Eve blow-up, Claire didn't come home. She stayed with a friend. We all knew it was James, or what was left of him after Danielle kicked him out. A week later, I filed for divorce. My lawyer almost smiled when I handed over the folder of PI photos. "This is gold. Custody leverage, infidelity proof, financial impact. She's toast." When Claire got served, she lost it. She stormed into the house, screaming at me while the girls hid in their rooms. "You think you're going to take my kids? My house. You're a selfish asshole, Ethan. You chose music over me and now you're punishing me for it." I stayed calm. "No, Claire. I'm protecting them from you. You dragged another man into their lives and told them to call him Uncle James. You humiliated me. You don't get to play the victim anymore." She spat venom. "You'll regret this. You'll die alone with your guitar, and those girls will hate you when they're old enough to understand." I almost snapped, but I caught myself. Her words were poison, meant to break me. Instead I said, "Better alone than with you." In court, the evidence shredded her. The judge granted me primary custody with her visitation supervised for the time being. James didn't even show. Danielle was bleeding him dry in her own divorce battle. Claire's mask of superiority cracked in front of everyone. And for the first time, I wasn't the one who felt humiliated. The day the judge's decision came down, I drove home with the girls in the back seat. They were singing along to the radio, giggling, completely unaware of the war that had just been fought for them. And for the first time in months, I felt peace. Life wasn't instantly perfect, far from it. The house felt emptier, quieter. There were nights I sat alone in the kitchen, staring at the wall, replaying her words in my head. "You'll die alone. James is more of a father than you." But then Lily would run up with her school project, or Harper would climb onto my lap asking for a bedtime story, and I'd realize, no, I wasn't alone. I had them. I started writing music again, but this time it was different. Not the flashy, crowd-pleasing songs I used to tour with. These were raw, stripped down, bleeding with honesty. Songs about betrayal, love lost, the kind of pain that claws you open. Funny thing is, those songs started to resonate. I uploaded one to YouTube just to get it out there, and within weeks it blew up. Comments poured in from people who'd been cheated on, who felt invisible, who knew exactly what it was like to be replaced. It was therapy. For me. For them. And little by little, I began to heal. Claire thought she'd broken me. But really, she'd given me the fire to rebuild. About 6 months after the divorce, I got a text from an unknown number. "It's me. Can we talk?" My stomach turned. Claire. I ignored it at first, but a few days later she showed up at my parents' house during Sunday dinner, acting like nothing had happened. My dad nearly threw her off the porch, but I stepped outside to end it myself. She looked different, tired, worn down. Not the smug, sharp-tongued Claire who used to sneer at me. "Ethan," she said softly, "James isn't in the picture anymore. You used me. I see that now. But you always loved me. You were stable. You were home. I miss that. I miss us." I almost laughed. The irony of her begging for the same stability she once mocked was bitter enough to choke on. "You miss the life I gave you," I told her. "You don't miss me. You never loved me, Claire. You loved the cover I gave you. And when you got bored, you burned it all down." Her face hardened. "You think you're better than me now? With your sad songs on YouTube and your mom cooking you dinner?" I shook my head. "No, Claire. I don't think I'm better than you. I know I am. Because I never betrayed the person I promised to love." Then I walked back inside, leaving her standing there on the porch, a ghost of the woman she used to be. For the first time I felt true closure. After that night on my parents' porch, something strange happened. The dreams stopped. For half a year they'd haunted me, the faceless man in my living room playing with my kids, sliding his hand down Claire's back like I was already dead and buried. Night after night the same vision. But once I shut the door on her for good, they vanished. No more waking up in cold sweats. No more feeling like I was watching my life through a window while another man lived it. I realized the dreams weren't random. They were warnings. My subconscious was screaming at me long before I ever caught her lies. And maybe in some twisted way they'd saved me. Now, instead of nightmares, I'd wake up to Lily and Harper climbing onto my bed, asking for pancakes. Instead of dread, I felt peace. One morning, Harper whispered, "Daddy, are you happy now?" I swallowed the lump in my throat and hugged her tight. "Yeah, baby. I really am." For the first time in years, I meant it. It's been over a year since I walked out on Claire for good, and I feel like I've finally come out the other side. Looking back, the signs were always there. The sarcasm. The distance. The way she'd light up for her phone but never for me. Hell, even my dreams tried to warn me. But I ignored it, told myself I was imagining things, that my marriage was stronger than that. It wasn't. And that's the hardest truth I had to swallow. Sometimes the person you'd burn your life down for wouldn't even light a match for you. Claire thought she was trading up, choosing excitement over stability. But excitement abandoned her, and now she's alone. Me. I still have my daughters, my music, my family. I rebuilt piece by piece, and I'm better than I've ever been. Do I still feel the sting? Yeah. Some nights I replay her words, "James has been more of a father than you." But instead of breaking me now, they fuel me. I'm present. I'm here. And my girls will never question who their dad is. So here's my advice for anyone who's reading this and feels those gut-deep suspicions. Trust your instincts. If you feel it in your bones, you're probably right. Don't let a cheater convince you their betrayal is your fault. That's their shame to carry, not yours. And most importantly, revenge is temporary, but rebuilding yourself, that's forever. Claire is a ghost in my past. I'm alive in my present. And that, finally, feels like enough. Touring musician, gone a lot, started having dreams about another man in my home. Turns out it was real. Wife cheated with Uncle James. Got a PI, confronted her, exposed her in front of both families, divorced her and got custody. She tried crawling back once James dumped her, but I shut the door for good. Now I'm free, focused on my daughters, and finally know my worth. I have many other stories. Go to my channel, subscribe so you don't lose us. Give me a thumbs up.